The Vampire King stood there confidently and said to himself,
This should be interesting.
The beast let out an echoing howl, ready for war. Wink kept himself hidden behind a rock and prayed that he would make it out alive from this. He still had the shadow ivy in his pocket. He can still save his mother. The werewolf spent no time hesitating after his battle cry. He bolted down the mountain to confront this foreign creature.
Good luck, beast,
the king said.
I fear no man nor creature.
The king drew his sword forged of silver, the perfect weapon to defeat a werewolf. Wink hoped he could get out with no involvement in this altercation. The only weapon he had on him was a slingshot. Not amused, the werewolf growled and stood his ground. Who was going to make the first move? The wolf lunged his claw forward. He managed to grab the hand of the vampire that was holding the sword. He stole the sword right from him and held it with a smile. What was the vampire to do? He smiled. He opened his eyes and a red glow came from his pupils. His bats were quickly incoming, a vast swarm of them. The wolf dropped the sword and prepared his fangs and claws. Wink saw this opportunity of distraction and started heading for the woods to find his mother's grave. The werewolf's keen eye spotted Wink, though. He couldn't let him escape. The wolf started fighting off the bats, trying to take bites at each one that flew by. Meanwhile, the blood moon was growing more intense. A storm was forming, rain was falling, and wind was picking up.
Everything is going according to plan.
But the bats were no match for the master werewolf. He smiled in victory to the vampire's attack. That is, until the powerful lightning started striking closer and closer. The werewolf knew the clock was ticking and attempted to make a quick attack at the vampire. But the vampire took a quick jab at his mouth and knocked a fang loose. Enraged, the master werewolf grabbed the Vampire King and was going to toss him off the nearby ledge. He threw the vampire towards the ledge. He didn't fall but was unbalanced. Then a bolt of lightning cracked the mountain right where the Vampire King stood. The king's own storm worked against him. The werewolf watched as he fell to his doom. The werewolf peered over the ledge to ensure it was over. It was a long way down, but was very foggy. He was sure this was a victory, but he had to track down Wink now. Meanwhile, Wink was very close to finding his mother as he noticed the rain started to let up. Wink arrived at his mother's grave. It was once a single grave, but now he stumbled upon what appeared to be a graveyard. Has the master werewolf taken this many people's lives? He wasn't going to dwell on it, and he immediately pulled out the shadow ivy. He could already see the dirt start to glow. The glow started to overwhelm the area. Wink was afraid it wasn't going to work. And then her silhouette appeared.
Wink? Mom, is that you?
Oh, Wink. What happened?
But then there he was, the master werewolf. Wink and his mother were frozen, but then... He was Wink's father once again.
Wink. Whitney. You don't have to be afraid anymore.
Yes, they do.
Lord Alistair was back.
Creatura noctis, te exilio.
Whitney began citing an incantation to destroy the vampire.
Winks! Defend your mother while she casts that spell at him!
Wink only had his slingshot, but he aimed a rock towards the Vampire King. The king didn't even flinch as Wink's rock fell short. But it was too late. Whitney finished her incantation, and a blinding glow lit up the area. Lord Alistair began melting before their very eyes. Wink watched as the king disintegrated into nothing, and the surrounding sky cleared from the blood moon. And just like that, Wink's life was actually coming back together. Now that he had his father back, a man once a savage werewolf, but now a powerful shapeshifter, and also his mother back, a woman taken by his father's hand, but now resurrected by a medicinal plant that Wink journeyed so far to obtain. He was just worried about his village. Was there anything left of his home or the people that were there for him when his parents were thought to be gone forever? Huh, guess we'll see.